Ladies and gentlemen, could I ask you all please to be upstanding to greet and welcome our bride Shannon together with the bridal party.
No combination of words I could put on the back of a postcard. No song that I can sing, but I will try for your heart. Our dreams, they are made out of real things, like a shoebox of photographs, a sepia tone loving. Love is the answer, at least, for most of the questions in my heart, like why are we here and where do we go and how come it's so hard. It's not always easy, and sometimes life can be deceiving. I'll tell you one thing, it's always better when we're together. Ooh, it's always better when we're together. Ooh, look at the stars when we're together. Ooh, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together. And all of these moments just might find their way into my dreams tonight, but I know that they'll be gone when the morning light sings and brings new things. For tomorrow night you'll see that they'll be gone too many things we have to do. And all of the dreams might find their way into my day-to-day scene. I'd be under the impression I was somewhere in between, with only two, just me and you. Not so many things we have to do, or things we have to see. We're beneath the mango tree now. Ooh, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, we'll look at the stars when we're together. Ooh, it's always better when we're together. Yeah, it's always better when we're together.
Doesn't she look gorgeous? Beautiful, he said. I asked her, doesn't she look gorgeous? And he said, beautiful. It's fine. It's fine. Breathe. Would all the guests please be seated? Do you need another tissue? That might be nice, yeah. We don't go into it. I'll take that. Thank you. Okay, yeah. Good afternoon, everyone. Thank you. On behalf of James and Shannon, I would like to welcome you all to Chilham Village Hall, which has been duly sanctioned according to law for the celebration of marriage. My name is Heather Nelson, and together with my colleague Lorena Moody, it is our pleasure and our privilege to conduct your ceremony and to register your marriage for you today. You have all been invited here to celebrate with James and Shannon, to witness their marriage and the promises they will make to one another. Marriage is a commitment for life, in which people can find and bring out the best in each other. When two people promise to love and care for each other in marriage, They create a union unique to themselves, which binds them closer than any spoken or written word. The legal declarations and vows that James and Shannon make today will join their lives and are based on the love they share. James and Shannon, before you are joined in marriage, I have to remind you both of the solemn and binding character of the vows you're about to make. Marriage in this country is the union of two people, voluntarily entered into for life to the exclusion of all others. But more than this, marriage is also intended to provide the love, friendship, help and comfort that we all need in our lives. And so I must now ask, if there is any person present who knows of a lawful impediment why James Alexander Croft and Shannon Victoria Harris may not be joined in matrimony, you should declare it now. We don't count laughter as a lawful objection, so we're good to go. You've obviously invited all the right people. And I have a very important question for these two gentlemen standing here. I now ask, who presents Shannon to be married to James?
We do.
Very proudly said, gentlemen. Jordan, if you would like to take your seat. Danny, if you'd like to sit down. Ladies and gentlemen, James and Shannon have asked if Ryan would do a special reading in honour of their ceremony and their marriage today. So I will ask the bride and groom to take their seats, and I will ask Ryan to please give us his reading.
Thank you.
So you stand about there.
Sure.
I'll move over here.
Hello, everyone. Oh. Bear with me, this is a couple of pages long. Well, ladies and gentlemen, thank you so much for coming here today. Today we are most gracious and humbled to be in the presence of two incredible humans to commemorate the day that Shannon Victoria Harris and James Dangercroft have decided to officially become unified as one in the eyes of the British legal system. I've known Shannon now for most of her life, and it has been a privilege to watch her grow from annoying third sibling to someone I can honestly call my best friend. Shannon is relentless in her endeavouring pursuit to make you smile and feel loved and appreciated. There are many people, including myself, that can vouch for her integrity and genuine personality. That is my sister. Even if one were to phone her in the middle of dinner, she would actually consider to stop eating to answer said call. Shannon had a very tough upbringing, what with Mum having already produced two perfect children. She knew it would be a difficult act to follow. Yet succeed she did, having grown up to achieve a university degree and not growing up to be an embarrassment like her older siblings. Shannon is an eccentric and exciting personality whose presence is immediately known whenever she walks into a room. And I always knew it would take a special kind of someone to bring a sense of harmony and joy to her and to match wits with my sister. Instead, we got James. James did more than that. James, he not only managed to win the heart of my sister, but of the entirety of my family. Myself the most, I think. James merged into the family with such ease, it's hard to imagine him as never being part of it. And for me, he did it quite simply with a joke. And humour, it's subjective and can be very hit and miss. And James, at an early family gathering, told us what I thought was a very bold joke in front of our family. I will not repeat it. To which my brother and I both thought, this guy. This guy. James, we've introduced a lot of people into our family over the years now. And with you as the latest addition, frankly, it's become a little crowded. But we are so grateful. You've become an amazing friend to me and a valiant and invaluable member of our family, continuously putting yourself out for the needs of us. And I cannot begin to thank you enough for all you've done, even up until now. So Shannon and James have decided to celebrate their love with marriage to one another, and I was very kind kindly asked to give this reading today, which made me think, okay, I have no idea what I'm going to say. And so I thought I could have stood here before you and just Googled some generic poem, some cheesy pop love ballad and quoted the lyrics. And I thought that would be an insult to these two because that's not them. So instead I thought I'd tell a story of something I heard about the horror author Stephen King. And I was thinking, so why do we get married? What is the reason for us to go through all of this? And then recently, just doing some of my own research, I came across this and I thought I wanted to share it with you today. So back when Stephen King and his wife were newlyweds, they were very young. They didn't have much of a penny to their name. Stephen was working as a teacher, earning at the time in the 70s about 22 grand a year in American, which is nothing. And he was wanting to be a writer, as you all know. That was his dream. And he published a couple of articles, a couple of short stories, nothing major, didn't really get him anywhere. He started writing his novels. He sent them into the publishers, rejection, rejection, rejection. Just kept getting them. That's enough to make anyone just stop what they're doing and give up. He started writing another novel. He got about a third of the way through and he lost the will. He was like, no, that's not right. Threw it in the bin. His wife went to go clear out that bin, found the manuscript. Not only did she retrieve it, she read it, she looked it through, she walked back up to him, just put it down straight in his face and just went, finish that. Finish that. It wasn't any pandering, just finish that. So, Stephen finished the book. He sent it in to the publishers. This time they said yes. They gave him for the hardback rights about $2,500, not much. And then they were looking forward to, we finally got somewhere. But then him and his wife were talking, what if this was to go anywhere else? Like, what could we do with the paperback rights? And he said, well, we might get 60K out of this. Well, for selling, he'll get half of that. He got a call from the publishers. They ended up getting 400 grand for the rights. And then they gave him 200 grand, which set him off for life. And from then on, Stephen King was able to publish his books and become the prolific writer we know today. And I tell you that story not for the rags to riches story. It's not about the money. It's about the support and commitment. Not only did his wife retrieve that and think, oh yeah, don't give me this. She read it. That was his passion. She read it. She went through, she took it back to it, and she made him go and stick with it. It's easy when you go through rejection to falter and give up on your dream. And the beautiful thing about that story, I think, is that I've already seen this with James and Shannon. I've already seen them fight for each other, lift each other up, just be there for each other. And I think that's just the most important thing. One of the biggest changes we go through when we are maturing, I think, is realizing the fine art of collaboration. When we're kids, it's so easy to think about going things on our own and trying to get that glory. But the moment we realize the root to success is through sharing, that is when life becomes much easier. Any of us who have been in a long-term commitment will know it's never straightforward. We're always going to go through ups and downs. The people we are at the beginning of a relationship is so different to the people we are in 1, 2, 5 years' time. And as mere mortals, none of us are infallible. We, as people, are always changing, evolving, learning, and discovering. But even as Harvey Dent once said, the night is darkest just before the dawn. It will always get better. Always get better. And just even like in Star Wars, the key is to create a balance between one another so to stay strong as individuals and to aid one another throughout life through its merciless trials so that whatever the world throws at you, you come out the other side smiling. And that is exactly what you see before you two now, just these two people. We must all humble ourselves with the knowledge that life is not on our side, and it is our attitudes and the people who surround us that make it the best experience possible. And no matter what I've seen being hurtled at these two so far, I am always witness to the most sincere love, care, and attention towards each other. Shannon and James, I wish you both eternal strength. Strength to know when it's time to make a change, strength to persevere through the unknown, and strength to admit when one is wrong, because that is the greatest respect we can give to your loved ones. Last bit of advice I will say, because you love just pass on random wisdom that you learn. Just because someone else says it's no good, doesn't make it so. Anger will never achieve anything, and happiness is everything. Always seek that. Thank you. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, Ryan. If you guys would like to return to the front of the stage. So if you see them out there. Let's. There we go. There's somebody's train ticket there. Didn't see that. Is that yours to get out? You can hold hands if you want. You're almost married. James and Shannon, the promises you are about to exchange serve as a declaration of the love you have for each other. It is not just the words you speak today which will unite you, but the sense of love and devotion which is felt within your hearts. A good partner in a marriage will not only be loving and caring, but also a true friend. I'm going to ask you both a question. I hope your answer is we are. James and Shannon, are you both ready to make your commitment to each other?
We are.
I'm going to ask you each a question. I hope your answer is I do. James, do you take Shannon to be your lawful wedded wife? And do you promise to be not only her husband, but also her best friend, to be loving and faithful to her for the rest of your life?
I do.
Shannon, do you take James to be your lawful wedded husband? And do you promise to be not only his wife, but also his best friend, to be loving and faithful to him for the rest of your life?
I do.
I'm going to ask you both to declare your freedom to marry, and then you will both exchange your marriage vows. I will ask you to repeat after me, and we'll start with you, James. I declare that I know
I declare that I know
of no legal reason
of no legal reason
why I, James Alexander Croft,
why I, James Alexander Croft,
may not be joined in marriage
may not be joined in marriage
to Shannon Victoria Harris.
to Shannon Victoria Harris.
You're doing really well. I declare that I know
I declare that I know
of no legal reason
of no legal reason
why I, Shannon Victoria Harris,
why I, Shannon Victoria Harris,
may not be joined in marriage
may not be joined in marriage
to James Alexander Croft.
to James Alexander Croft.
The exchange of vows forms the heart of the marriage ceremony. Having declared that you are free to marry, the time has now come for you to make your marriage vows to each other. And this is a very special moment because as you say these words to each other, you will actually become husband and wife. You're already holding hands, and that's a good sign. If you'd like to turn to face each other, you can still hold hands. I will ask you to, let's get rid of the tissue.
Thank you.
There we go. I'll chuck that back over there, look. I will ask you to repeat after me, but you are saying these words to each other. And again, James, we'll start with you. I, James Alexander Croft,
I, James Alexander Croft,
take you, Shannon Victoria Harris,
take you, Shannon Victoria Harris,
to be my wedded wife.
to be my wedded wife.
I, Shannon Victoria Harris,
I, Shannon Victoria Harris,
take you, James Alexander Croft,
take you, James Alexander Croft,
to be my wedded husband.
to be my wedded husband.
I just want to leave you like that. That's lovely. A wedding ring is an ancient and traditional way of sealing a marriage, as it is a circle with neither a beginning nor an end, and it is an outward sign to everyone of the promises you have made here today. So if I could ask Danny to step forward with the rings, please. And if you would adjust you slightly, that's the one. And if you would please give James Shannon's ring first, the small pretty one. And if you put that on the ring finger of her left hand, but don't push it all the way on yet, hold her hand and say these words to her. Shannon, with this ring,
Shannon, with this ring,
I join my life with yours.
I join my life with yours.
All that I am, I give to you,
All that I am, I give to you,
and all that I have, I share with you.
and all that I have, I share with you.
I promise to respect and cherish you,
I promise to respect and cherish you,
and be faithful always.
and be faithful always.
Now push it all the way on. And Danny, if you would please give Shannon James's ring. And if you place that on the third finger of the left hand, don't push it all the way on, hold his hand, say these words to him. James, with this ring,
James, with this ring,
I join my life with yours.
I join my life with yours.
All that I am, I give to you,
All that I am, I give to you.
and all that I have, I share with you.
And all that I have, I share with you.
I promise to respect and cherish you,
I promise to respect and cherish you,
and be faithful always.
and be faithful always.
Push it all the way on. You're doing so well. It will feel weird for a while. You can hold hands again. James and Shannon, may you always be able to confide in each other, support each other's hopes and dreams, and it says here in the script, laugh with one another. I don't think you'll have any problem with that, will you? From this moment, you have created an understanding between the two of you whom no one can break. And we all hope that your love, trust and understanding of each other will continue to bring you both contentment and joy in your life together and remain constant throughout the years. So James and Shannon, you have given your personal promises, your vows, your declarations to each other in front of everyone you have gathered here with you today. I'm absolutely delighted to announce that you are now husband and wife. Round of applause,